Barb Holland, the forgotten friend. Barb should have left. She didn't. Steve Harrington's party. Nancy gets distracted with her boyfriend. Tells Barb she can go home if she wants. Barb is left alone, outside, sitting by edge of the pool, uncomfortable, out of place. She struggles to open a beer can. The tab snaps back. It cuts her hand. Blood drips from her fingers into the pool. Nancy is already inside with Steve. Barb stays behind, bleeding, alone. Later, she's gone. Barb wakes up somewhere else. The same pool, but wrong world. The air is dark. Webs cover the ground. Hurt and desperate, she tries to escape. The Demogorgon suddenly appears. It drags her away. Later, her body is found, cold, wrapped in the upside down. One of most disturbing images in series. Barb didn't make a mistake. She was just the one no one noticed leaving. Benny Hammond, silent betrayal. One good deed, one bullet. Owner of a small diner. He offered food and shelter to 11, trying to help her get in touch with social services. Simple gesture, but one that caught attention of agents from Hawkins' lab. Agent Connie Frazier disguised herself as social worker went to diner when Benny least expected. She caught him by surprise in kitchen and shot him with silenced pistol, killing him instantly. To cover crime, the agent stages the scene to make it look like he had taken own life. Benny's assassination marks dark turning point, revealing just how cruel Hawkins' lab really is. Kindness got him killed in cold blood. He did the right thing and paid for it before anyone could thank him. Bob Newby, the unlikely hero. Bob believed everything would be okay. It wasn't. Always optimistic, full of good intentions. Classic unlikely hero. Inside Hawkins' lab, sirens, red lights, creatures closing in from every direction. Bob, Joyce, Will, and others trapped in Hawkins' lab, completely surrounded by creatures from upside down. When power goes out, they need someone who understands systems. And of course, Bob, with his nerdy charm, volunteers to turn everything back on. He does it. For a moment, it looks like everything is going to work out.
We made it.
He runs through halls sweating, but still with that hopeful smile, believing everything will be okay. But relief doesn't last. As he gets close to exit, the Demodogs appear. They rush him. They bite. He goes down, while Joyce watches, helpless, unable to do anything. Bob dies trying to save everyone, and his loss is devastating. Even though he was a simple character, his courage and love turn him into a true hero. Bob didn't die because he was careless. He died because he believed things could still work. Chrissy Cunningham, Vecna's first. Perfect cheerleader, hides broken side. Tormented by nightmares and haunting visions. Tied to past trauma, trying to escape her pain. She meets Eddie Munson, the wild charismatic metalhead of Hawkins, thinking some drugs might help, but what seems like casual meeting turns into living nightmare. Chrissy starts hearing voices, seeing her mother yelling at her.
Go! Chrissy!
Gets pulled into Vecna's realm. Meanwhile, in real world, Eddie watches in horror as Chrissy levitates. In middle of room, what follows is brutal. Her bones twist, her eyes disappear, and her body collapses lifelessly. Eddie flees in shock, becoming prime suspect. This death not only introduces Vecna, it sets grim, mature tone for everything that follows. First victim, First warning, first horror. Chrissy wasn't chosen because she was weak. She was chosen because she was already breaking.
It's time for your suffering to end.
Fred Benson, the guilt. Fred Benson, Nancy's classmate, investigating Chrissy's death when he starts being tormented by disturbing visions. He keeps seeing the crash, the boy he couldn't save, the moment he ran from. The tragedy haunting Fred happened years earlier, a scar on his face. Survivor's guilt eating him alive. He carried an unbearable weight, reliving the moment of impact in mind, over and over. He runs, the road stretches, the air goes dead, then vecna takes him. He lifts, bones snap, eyes go white. His death reinforces Vecna's cruel pattern, hunting down those who are emotionally broken. Guilt made him easy prey for something worse. Fred didn't outrun Vecna, because guilt runs faster than fear. Billy Hargrove, Final Redemption. All throughout Season 3, Billy is Mind Flayer's main servant. Acting cruel and ruthless, but not everything is what it seems. The cruelty came from control, from something using him, by creature from upside down. Deep down, there's still a piece of lost boy hidden behind that cold, violent stare. In final episode inside Starcourt Mall, 11 faces monster. And tries to reach whatever is left of Billy. Using her powers, she dives into his mind and makes him remember simple but powerful memory. Sunny day at beach with his mom. That tiny spark of humanity breaks Mind Flayer's control, and Billy wakes. When Monster moves to attack, Billy steps in front of 11, facing Mind Flayer alone. He's struck again and again, and dies, in front of his stepsister. One of the most emotional scenes in the entire show. His death is more than a sacrifice. It's the end of a redemption arc that finally shows the real Billy behind the villain mask. He was a monster until he wasn't. One choice changed everything. Billy spent his life being controlled and chose who he was only at the end. Eddie Munson, the rock hero. Eddie Munson ran his whole life until he didn't. And his death, one of the most emotional and unforgettable scenes. The most charismatic metalhead in Hawkins proved he was far more than an outcast. Falsely accused of murder, he's real hero. In Upside Down, Eddie climbs to top of his trailer and performs epic solo of Metallica's Master of Puppets to distract Vecna's demo bats. Scene is absolutely legendary. As demonic bats close in, they could leave. Eddie turns back, but he decides to stay. Dustin manages to get back to real world, but Eddie cuts the sheets and decides to stay in Upside Down to buy more time for friends.
To buy more time.
Armed with nothing but courage, a shield, and a makeshift spear, he grabs the bike, leads the demo bats away, and then he makes a decision. This time, he won't run. He fights, refuses to run, but he's hopelessly outnumbered, and the inevitable happens. Attack is brutal. He's severely wounded. Dustin finds him bleeding out. In final moments, Eddie smiles and says he finally didn't run, showing his true growth as character. Dustin is heartbroken, and loss hits everyone deeply. Later, Dustin tells Eddie's uncle about his sacrifice, making sure world knows that Hawkins' fugitive died true hero. He ran his whole life, until the moment it mattered most. Max Mayfield, broken but breathing. Max closed her eyes. something stayed behind. Max Mayfield's fate at the end of Season 4, one of most gut-wrenching in series. Determined to help her friends, she volunteers to be Vecna's bait, same monster who already tormented her before. While she's inside the Creel mansion, Vecna invades her mind and begins a brutal attack. Max tries to fight back, but Vecna is merciless. Her bones shatter, she loses. Her vision and her heart stops. The gate opens in Hawkins that connects real world to Upside Down. Watching this for first time was so heartbreaking. Her heart stops. For a moment, she's gone. Using her powers, 11 brings Max back to life. But price is high. Max falls into coma with no sign of consciousness. Everyone fears she may never wake up, but at hospital she's alive, yet unresponsive. Raising haunting question. Is part of her still trapped with Vecna? Will she ever wake up? Death took her. 11 brought her back, but something stayed behind.